is today's Star Wars Radar. Thank you for joining us. Okay, I'll spare you the rest of the introduction. Nice to see you virtually. If you're tuned in, I'm a little late according to my schedule. I didn't realize that I had scheduled this video for a half hour ago. It's okay. All good. I'm pretty sure I'm doing everything the way I need to be doing it. It's been a long Monday. What can I say? I've had a few tasks that I've needed to nail down, and I'm still in the process of nailing things down, including, and I realize first world problems here. I'm hunting for new monitors. But I'm looking for a specific kind. I'm not gonna bore you with the details though. So either way, I found this HK Hong Kong with there's the lettering on the back. You won't be able to see it because the focal point of this particular camera doesn't do macro because I locked the focus, otherwise it'd be going in and out and in and out. Found him thrifting. Not today. I was actually thinking, should I do a thrifting haul of sorts? And I thought, no, I don't know if I necessarily want to do a thrifting haul. Yeah, baby, I guess, but I'm doing the Star Wars Radar video.
I had to show you something.
What do you need to show me, boo?
It's a flower.
Okay, well, can you show mommy?
Okay.
Thank you. Unfortunately, it's not the flower radar show. But she needed to show me a flower. It's very important. Jedi's a priority, though. I needed to make sure I responded to her. Found it thrifting. So, probably $2. I wouldn't say beater condition. Definitely not, super awesome condition. The Death Squad Commander was not really ever my favorite figure, but I was never a fan of those figures with human likenesses. You guys are going to get used to hearing that from me over and over and over and over again. But this is something that's really kind of difficult for me to pass up on. If I find a vintage figure that I think is in good shape, or a couple of them for a couple bucks, I'll spring for it. I don't care if they're commons or what. But certainly, let's check the date. So it's GMFGI 1977, Hong Kong. Yeah. So, but for the age, honestly, I'd say it's in decent shape. I don't really have a place for these spare figures. I have we have a bin downstairs, or kind of a box for Jedi's stuff, or Jedi's vintage figures. I keep them separate from her modern figures, so he may very well go in there. I'm not sure where else I would necessarily choose to stick him, so that I knew, oh wait, I remember I've got vintage figures. I'll just go into Jedi's bin, because there are plenty of duplicates. I throw a lot of my extra Stormies there, but yeah, I'm pretty sure I've thrown the extra ones that I've seen in there. And she's also got a Darth Vader carrying case. I found 3 of those thrifting, usually for around $5. Nothing in them, just of course the empty case with stickers and the flaps or whatever. But I never had the Darth Vader carrying case when I was a kid. Never did. Talking Star Wars asks a fantastic question. Favorite lightsaber battle in movies? Well, you gotta tell me yours. Mine, as much as I would say the lightsaber battle in Revenge of the Sith was certainly epic. I mean, it was pretty long and drawn out, but I'm gonna, people are probably gonna hate me for this, but the one that resonated with me emotionally the most, and I mean, I'll never forget it. I mean, I literally got goosebumps, and I've seen plenty of lightsaber scenes on screen, and they're like, whoa! The first time I think I ever went whoa in a lightsaber scene, I wouldn't say it was my favorite. First time I went whoa was in The Phantom Menace, when Kenobi was blocking the saber with Maul, the whole battle, the final battle between Maul and Kenobi before he basically bisects him. That drew out a whoa. But my favorite to date, and granted, there aren't too many, there won't be too many left. Well, maybe there will be. There'll be Jedi, plenty of Jedi. I would say that the scene in The Force Awakens. And like I said, this is probably controversial. Sorry if you're not able to hear audio. It shouldn't be low. I haven't adjusted anything on my end. And I made sure I moved the mic a little closer. Maybe that'll help. So the thing that just still kind of doesn't freak me out to this day, but I remember when Kylo was reaching for the Anakin, or Vader's hilt, what was Anakin Skywalker's hilt, when he was like trying to pull it, like, and it's like you see it moving, the drama, and he's reaching for it, and then suddenly it flies past him, and Ray catches it, and I'm like the musical score and that whole scene, it just goosebumps. I'm like, whoa! So like Ray's accepting her destiny, right? She basically, the lightsaber again comes to her effectively, bypassing Kylo altogether. But that moment really drew me in. And so the rest of the lightsaber battle, the choreography was, I would say standard. I wouldn't say better or worse than others, but that moment set the stage for that ensuing battle. And that is why it is probably my favorite lightsaber battle in movies. And Vader was not involved at all. So that's me. That's how I feel. And I know a lot of people would think that would be very controversial. Like, Chris, you're holding on to a vintage figure. How can you talk about The Force Awakens? Ray. Hey, John. Speaking of Twitch, I found these thrifting. I was going to do a thrifting haul. Didn't find much, so it wasn't really worth an extra video. But each of these for about $3. So we've got the Xbox 360 Force Unleashed 1 and 2. Now, what's nice is, and I checked this before getting them, they are backwards compatible on the Xbox One. So effectively, I can load them into the Xbox One and stream. Now, what I've got to figure out how to do, and this, I don't know if I'm going to do it like immediately, because I think you have to connect your Xbox One directly into a PC in order to stream through the PC. But I want to stream from the Xbox effectively, and so using the software conduit on Windows. And it hasn't happened yet. But I think that I'll be playing these games and streaming these games on the Xbox. It may not be in my new kind of gaming apparatus setup that I've got going for an Intel Micro Studio, but an unofficial one. Yeah, I'll be playing these games. I now have them. And why pay full price? Why pay for the digital when you can just unlock it for a couple bucks? And, hold on to a collectible. The one I'm really looking for is Knights of the Old Republic, because that's the one everyone is talking about. But I haven't found that. I know I will. I know inevitably it'll get surface thrifting. I'm not going to spend $8 on it. I'll wait until it's like 3 or 4, and then I'll be happy. You're a fan of rough versus precision lightsaber battles. It all depends on kind of. I mean, I'm not really looking for one thing over the other. But that said, I'm always just looking and recognizing what it is that I'm thinking and feeling in the moment, and I wouldn't even say it was the excitement of the movie. It was just that moment, and everything was just. It was the perfect moment. It was breathtaking, and that really did it for me. And I can't say that I felt the same way in any of the earlier movies with any of the lightsaber battles. I mean, I enjoyed them certainly. But not in the same way, in terms of that, kind of the emotional response that I had. So yeah, it's nice to have as many lightsaber battles as we have, and certainly I hope there are definitely more to come. In terms of the crawls in the next trilogy, and by the way, hi Cheesy Sword, thanks again for being a member of the YouTube channel. I think Benioff and Wise should have a crawl. If they're going for if it's going to be a trilogy, I think it needs a crawl. I understand why these one-offs did not have a crawl, but if it's a trilogy, I would like to see a crawl. Now, I'd hate for them to start episode 47. Like, what? I'd like to see it. I don't think the crawl is necessarily behind us. I think fans would still clamor for it. I'm fine with a crawl. I'd love a crawl. I missed the crawl in the other Star Wars films. I understand why the crawls weren't used. I think they worked well without the crawls. But to me, if it's a trilogy, yeah, I'd like to see a crawl, because you set this. Here's why: episode 1, 2, 3, right? Or that's specifically in the Skywalker saga. That may very well confuse people. Hey, Star Wars Time 1, good to see you. They're on Periscope. Glad you're tuned in. I know that it could confuse people when they say, "Wait, episode 1 wasn't that the Phantom?" What? They wouldn't know that. They would be too confused to know that. But it would have to be. It would have to start differently, not episode 1 of the let's say Chronicles trilogy or something where it set the stage that this was specifically the first of 3 films of a trilogy, and have to do it the let's say the Old Republic trilogy, or the Old Republic episode 1 of the Old Republic, or you know what I'm saying? Like beyond the title, it has to stage it in that sense. Because if they don't, then we're gonna have eventually, like, let's say 4 episode 1s. That would be very confusing for non-fans, and so I don't know how they'd fit that into the crawl. But I think it needs to be done, and hopefully it'll be done, tastefully, artfully, and we shall see. A Seal in Arizona says, talking Star Wars, just learned to sing the Star Wars theme. Yes, yeah, I did see that. Hilarious. In fact, our Jedi would sometimes, she's like sleeping, going to sleep, you'll hear her go, It's kind of funny. She's not a Seal, though. We didn't train our daughter. She is her. Interested in your thoughts on Rey having the Jedi texts. Mentioned this the other day, and she'll be able to interpret them without Luke guiding her. I did briefly mention this the other day. I think she'll be able to make it through. I mean, she may need to find a translator, but from there, I think she'll have an interpretation, an open interpretation. And I kind of go back to this feeling that the rise of Skywalker doesn't necessarily mean Anakin or Vader, although that would be interesting. Like a white Vader, like remember from the comics, the EU, there was a white Vader. I don't think we're going to see that. I don't think it's the rise or it could be the return of Luke. It could be the rise of Luke, but I don't know about that either. My feeling is that the rise of Skywalker could be not a religion or a following or a dogma, but something along those lines. Maybe not an actual person, Skywalker. And remember, it's the rise of Skywalker, so it's someone kind of rising through. So the rise. So they're starting down here, and then it could be the rising of the dead. I don't know. But I think as long as she doesn't get locked into dogma, I think she'll be okay. And I think I'll be fine with that. And I think if she was listening to Luke and why he fought the way he did and went out the way he did with peace and purpose, I think Luke was right. And I realize I'm going to take a lot of flack from fans, but I thought Luke's ending was sad, but suitable. I mean, Luke did not want to cause more harm to the galaxy that he saw, from his perspective and the way he was raised from the Jedi of old, and the things that he learned and the things that he kind of unlocked over the years. So, and he just wants that to end, and I think that's noble. I think it was a very noble end. But that's, again, I know that's a very controversial opinion in Star Wars fandom. But yeah, I think we'll get a lot of knowledge from them in open interpretation. I'd hate to see a religion form around it. And Jedi ostensibly had been a religion, or treated as such with dogma. So I'd hope not to see the same. Let's see here. Fun fact of the day. What does that say? Give me a second. Let me scroll in. Amaxine warriors were a group of fighters that came in constant conflict with the Republic. The Amaxines eventually left the known galaxy after vowing they would return. Wait, now what was that from? Oh, the novel Bloodline. Thank you very, very much. Thank you very, very much. Yeah, Disney Plus is definitely going to be a must-have. I just started, this is not Star Wars related, but just started Good Omens last night. It looks like it's going to be a pretty good series. It's very reminiscent of Hitchhiker's Guide. Like incredibly, like so inspired by Hitchhiker's Guide. Anyway, so absolutely worth watching if you're into sci-fi and fantasy stuff. What'd you miss? Not much. Just kind of geeked out over a couple different things as normal. But the discussion is still popping. We're about 15 minutes into this broadcast. I'm going to give it another 15 minutes. As noticed or not noticed, I did not unbox and open the Star Wars Lego set. The weekend kind of got away from me. I just felt like doing nothing, quite honestly, and that's exactly what happened. I did pick up 2 of these, actually. They were on sale. This is basically a postcard set. Amy Radcliffe had written the book of Women in the Galaxy, and I found out about this. Someone had tweeted. She tweeted this was available like earlier this year, and I totally missed it. But I'm like, oh, this is kind of cool. So I thought I would get 2 sets. Basically one for Jedi, and then one to basically hold on to ad infinitum. The price was just too good to pass up. It was basically like a buy one get one free, because normally they'd be like $10 a piece, or $20 a piece, but they ended up being about 10. Or am I going to do a live stream on July the 4th? That's a great question. I don't know is the answer. So I don't know if I'm going to show you all of them, but this is absolutely worth, picking up as a book. Issaquah, and the artist is also credited on the back of the card. Now, I usually get like Adigalia and Stas Ali confused with one another, but this is Adigalia. Ahsoka Tano. Like, people are like, and 100 postcards in the box, by the way. Ooh, Daddy may be holding on to this one. We got a Vader and Ahsoka. 2 Ahsokas. Whoa. Oh, wait, whoa. Hang on. 3 Ahsokas. Look at that. We've got Holdo here. The art, of course, is just breathtaking as well. Arinda Price from Rebels. This is a character I'd like to see in real life. Asajj Ventress. Have I seen the Probably Going to the Butcher the Name, the Adawan cuts of the original movies? I have not. This is Aunt Z from Resistance. If you watch Star Wars Resistance, if not, you should. Or a Singh, who apparently, what's his name from Solo? Tobias Beckett offed. Barra Sophie. Yeah, these are awesome. We saw Bazine Natal. Is it Bazine Natal? Yeah. In the comics, the IDW comics actually had her in there with Grumgar, I think, very briefly, but definitely she was in it. So she got some additional exposure if you had not watched that. This Saturday, you got to hang out with Daniel Logan. You did? Daniel follows me. I don't know if you knew that. We follow each other on Twitter. That's cool. How'd that happen, John? The Super Awesome Geek Show. This is Baru Lars, of course, Aunt Baru. Clone Wars fans will recognize Bo-Katan Kryze. Bo-Katan. We also have Leia's mother. Well, not her birth mother, of course. Brea Organa, her adopted mother. Hello, 3D Printing with Heath. He's about to pop into the chat. Watch this. He's town for a show, and we'll meet up for a brief interview. Well, tell him I said hi. Actually, John, I should pull him into these live broadcasts. He'd probably do it. I don't know if we have enough of... we only have 12 people, but it's a very interactive 12 people. It's a very small community right now, but it can grow. Oh, look at this! You recognize her? From A New Hope? Anybody? Cammy? And apparently her last name, Marstrap. Does this mean she's canon? No, she's not canon. Then we have the shapeshifter, Cato Parasiti, I believe from the Clone Wars. Like I said, I'm not gonna go through all of them, but just to show you representation. Again, all this for like about $10. I thought it was kind of a bargain, so I thought Jedi'd kind of have fun, kind of going through them. Sienna Rhee, I believe from one of the novels. Would this be, in fact, Cheesy Sword would be able to tell us probably. You'd love a book about Tobias Beckett and his attempts to learn the Valacord. I'd like to see another comic, like a Tobias Beckett like one-off, maybe with that. Like an alternate universe. He went back and tried to learn the Valacord and something else happened. The Rainbow Filament comes today. Yippee! Oh, Lost Stars. Thank you, Nico Rank. Daughter. Ah, yes. From the Clone Wars. See, so many people are like, there's no women in Star Wars. I'm like, what are you looking? You're not looking hard enough, dude. They're everywhere. This is Depa Blaba. I remember her from... It's here. See, Durla Pides? Where? I want to say from... Must have been from the Clone Wars? Maybe a book. Maybe a novel. Oh. Speaking of books, comic books, we've got an Afra. I think they're trying to really make Afra a thing. I like her. I like Afra. I do. It's been enjoyable. But I definitely want to see more of her. Emphas Nest. Definitely want to see more of her. You want to talk about someone who deserves a series and comics and in a TV series? Emphas Nest. All the way. All the way. Yvonne Verlaine, and I think she didn't she shuttle Leia in the Leia comic arc, the Marvel comic arc? Wasn't that her? Because I want to say that she was an X-wing pilot. I could be wrong. It's been a few years since the Princess Leia arc. Oh, hold her up close. Sorry, didn't realize I was far away. Every Chalice. So some of these characters I think are definitely from novels, and I hate to get too close because it'll get blurry because there's no autofocus. Okay, I've only got just maybe a couple more here. I'm just gonna do these and then be done. Oh wait, no, I can't stop. Once you pop, you can't stop. Harrison Dula. I would have loved to see a pregnant Harrison Dula. That would be nice. Iden Versio from Battlefront 2. Yeah, and I'm gonna, because otherwise I'll literally be here all night, showing you all the postcards. But anyway, there's 100 of them, a whole bunch more in here, with women from across the galaxy. Definitely worth a purchase. Even if you don't send them as postcards, pretty nice little box container. Women of the Galaxy, 100 collectible postcards. So I may even get. Oh wait, which one are you looking for? You want to 3D print who? I want to take a screenshot. Wait, of who? Now I have to find her again so you can 3D print her. It'd be kind of hard. Wouldn't you need a 3D sculpture in order to 3D print? Who are you looking for? Who? Let me know. I can try to find her again. The alien? Oh, the alien creature in episode 8, Canto Bight. Oh! And in Canto Bight, short stories. Short stories? Was that a... Maybe I haven't read that comic if it was a comic. This one? Yeah, the Canto Bight characters I would have loved to see figures on. I really would have. Character name is Durla Pidys. Pidys. Pides. So if that wasn't the character, yeah, let me know and I can try to do that. Yvonne Verlaine is the Y-Wing pilot at the end of episode 4 and friend of Leia. Okay, there we go. Avari Chalice is from the book Battlefront Twilight Company. See, I didn't read that. The one you said you like her. Oh, Afra? I wouldn't worry about because they have Afra figures. There's the super articulated 3 3/4 inch, and they just released the Black Series. I don't think we're gonna get a 5 POA of her, but I wouldn't worry about it. Don't sweat it. Don't sweat it. Yeah. So I thought, I remember from the comic, Yvonne, that name for some reason kind of stuck out at me, and that she was a pilot. I could be thinking way off too. But not in Rainbow, in her in Black jumping. So this is what we got to do. 3D printing with Heath. We got to figure out how to 3D print because I can't design squat. 3D print the and I've been looking for years, the Dejeric aliens, high resolution Dejeric aliens, because I don't think those exist and we don't have them anywhere, right? Because they're not posable anyway, but 3D printed Dejeric aliens. Because unfortunately, my favorite scale, right, is the 3 3/4 inch, and 3D printing just could not get that precise, right? Unfortunately. Or so what kind of scale? Because you got to, the problem is it just depends on what you're printing out. But we should probably think it through. What things don't exist that we always wanted in a toy? And I'm gonna have to think about that. I'm gonna have to think about that because there's a certain size range that you'd certainly want to go for. I got to think about that because I'm sure those things are probably out there to think about, in terms of the things that haven't been made. But I'll put on my thinking cap. Wouldn't it be great if ... And then we can take it from there. send you a link of the picture. I will, but I wouldn't worry about Afra. I really wouldn't, because like Afra's covered in that sense. The and with any luck, you know, Afra's going to be around for the longest time. But hang on just a second. I'm looking at something. Oh boy. Okay. Hang on just a second. Foop. I'm nuts. That's, you know, honestly, that's what I am. Literally, I am nuts. Sorry, I was doing some research. I should not do research when I'm talking to you guys. It's the worst time to do it, because then my head starts thinking, like, well, what is out there? What isn't out there? Like, what am I looking for? And it's usually down to, what am I looking for? And then I'm trying to find it, and then it doesn't exist, right? I can never think about it, like, right offhand. Like, wouldn't it be cool if... ... Chris, the book that has the Canto Bight short stories is called Canto Bight Journey to the Star Wars The Last Jedi. 4 very cool stories. Yeah, like I said, you know, I'm a reader, yes, but not. I never really dived too deeply into any of the novels. But thank you for the context. I appreciate it. You're teaching me. See, that's the thing. Is like a lot of people out there who do video or hosting, they pretend they know everything. I'm like, I am not the person you want to be talking to, because I do not know everything. That's pretty funny. So I've got about 3 more minutes, and I want to wind down. I really am trying to keep these to about a half hour a day, and I know it's a little crazy or a hectic schedule, but not just because I don't want them to draw out, but it's a nice benchmark to hit. I also want to do a couple things before I start heading to bed, including to watch, maybe not the rest of it, but Good Omens. I finally caught Fleabag, binged it this weekend, also worth watching, definitely for adult audiences. We never got a Cloud City playset in plastic, like a Kenner style. All we got is a cardboard thingamajig. So, you know, that's the thing, is like, I was never into playsets. I was always into figures or aliens. And so I would think, like, you know, almost like, like I said, I got to think about what it is that I would love to have that just hasn't existed in like, you know, kind of like, you know, where they're like smaller head sculpts, like high resolution head sculpts would be kind of fun. But again, what hasn't been made, you got to think about that, right? And I always go to like the aliens. I always think about like the alien stuff. I'll put on my thinking cap. I will. I'll do it. I got to figure out a place where I can put the Rainbow Vader. I've got a feeling where I'm going to stick him, and the Gold Vader that you printed out. I have a feeling I know where it's going to go, but you know whether it goes there or not, I couldn't tell you. Today in my Chris Pirillo channel, my personal channel, which I'm still not sure what I kind of know what I want to do with, but not sure how that's going to come out. I unboxed these lunch tins. So in last year, they announced these things, tiny tins, and I opened pretty much all of them. So I have the full set. This particular case came with pretty much all of them, and so effectively they're little tins, like they're in this little like case and container, and this is what they are. And they come with this little thermos eraser, and they have scenes and characters and villains and heroes from the original trilogy. Tiny Tins Pocket Pals from Gentle Giant, ironically enough. So fun little collectible. I pretty much opened all of them, and I think I'm glad I did, because I only ended up I got 3 of one and only 1 of one, so I got the full set of 8. Very, very grateful for that, because I'd have gone nuts, because I don't think these things are going to be widely available. Tiny Tin, Pocket Pails, Star Wars, Gentle Giant. Please retain packaging for future reference. Oh, because it doesn't come with a checklist. But so much fun. So much fun. Just caught you. Phew. What? Truly brilliant, glowing lightsabers in any scale. Well, yeah, but think 3D printing, right? 3D printing. That's what, like, I gotta... Everyone put on their thinking cap. What doesn't exist? Okay, so we got a couple things. That's good. Good something really rare. Yeah, I think so. Nobody's seen in Star Wars. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's got to be like, what have they not seen? What have we not seen? What could be cool? What could work in a 3D printed capacity? And so that's why, you know, I love Vader, don't get me wrong, or the AT-AT driver. I love them. Adore. But just trying to. I gotta think. What would I want? What would I love? If it's Star Wars, I love it. Don't get me wrong. I just think like I always like my head always kind of goes to the obscure. Like, well, what would what would be awesome that would never exist in a commercial capacity? I'll keep thinking about it. I'll keep noodling on it. I'll keep looking. I'll keep researching. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up though. Thank you everybody for tuning in. I do appreciate your support. I appreciate the conversation. Always very, very lively. Great little community we got here. Thank you for your enduring patience. I will see you on the flip side. I will be back tomorrow right around the same time, 7 o'clock, 6:30 or 7 o'clock Pacific. I'll try to time it when I got my schedule down pat a little better. But thanks again for tuning in. I love you. I appreciate you. And at this point, I'm going to leave all of you to your own devices. May the Force be with you always.